So when does it hit the ground without a calculator? So number one says the function h of x equals negative 2x squared minus 6x plus 56 represents the height of an object x seconds after it's launched. How many seconds does it take for the object to hit the ground? What's something I need to circle? Sorry, say the things again that I need to circle. Hit the ground. Okay, it gives the approximate height. What else is important? One other thing. All right, how many seconds? And the actual function. Okay, good. Okay, what does hit the ground mean? What is 0? What is 0 when it hits the ground? The height of the object. When it hits the ground, what's the height of that marker? 0. The height is 0. Okay? All right, so we've got our function. So let's write that on our paper. Negative 2x squared minus 6x plus 56. Okay, so I know I'm thinking ahead. When I'm thinking ahead, I know I'm going to have to equal it to 0. But remember what we did last week. I can't equal it to 0 yet. What do you have to do first? You have to solve it. How do we solve something like that? Can't kick out the 56 yet. Very good. Greatest common factor. Okay? What goes into 2, 6, and 56? 2, and I want you to do negative 2 because there's a negative in front. So we're going to divide them by negative 2. So these cancel, so I'm left with x squared. What is negative 6 divided by negative 2? Positive 3. Over here, I'm going to do long division. Yay! Love long division. 2 goes into 5 how many times? 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract those. 2 goes into 16. 8. Okay? Is it going to be positive 28 or negative 28? Negative 28. Okay. All right. Got to keep going. How many parts does that have? 3. What do you do when it has 3 parts? Good. Kick out the negative 28. All right. What multiplies to give me negative 28? 7 and negative 4. One of them has to be negative to give me a negative 28. All right, what's 7 plus negative 4? And is that what I want? Yes. Yep. So I'll write it in parentheses. X plus 7, x minus 4. Okay, always look and see what the question is asking. What did the question ask? When did it hit the ground? What does hit the ground mean? Equal it to 0. Equal it to 0. So I'm going to write x plus 7 equals 0. And x minus 4 equals 0. Morning. Okay, so I'll draw my line. I move positive 7 over here so it becomes negative 7. I move 4 over there, it becomes positive 4. Okay, I have 2 answers. And again, I want to try to wrap this all up for you. The reason I have 2 answers is because what kind of shape does a quadratic make? What kind of shape does it make? A U. It makes a U. Would this one open up or down? It would open down, and it's going to have an x-intercept at negative 7, and it's going to have an x-intercept at 4. That's why there's 2 answers, because of the graph. But this is a word problem. In this problem, it says how many seconds for it to hit the ground. Well, I've got 2 choices. Do you think it's negative 7 seconds, or do you think it's positive 4 seconds? Positive 4. So the answer to this whole crazy problem, the whole answer to this problem is that. Okay? Now, on the exam in January, when you see this problem, it's going to be at the very beginning of the test, and there's going to be a box for your answer. Okay, it's not going to be multiple choice. There's going to be a box. So you're going to have to do this work on your notebook paper, and then what answer would you put in the box? A 4. Okay? All right. All right, number 2, the function h of x equals negative 16 t squared plus 32t plus 48 represents the approximate height of a cannonball t seconds after it's launched. How many seconds does it take for the object to hit the ground? All right, what's something I need to circle? Hit the ground and the function. Those are the 2 really important things. Okay, what does hit the ground mean? What 0? Height. The height is 0. The height is 0. Okay, so I'm going to write this on my paper. Negative 16t squared. You can put x's if you want. Plus 32t plus 48. All right, it's got 3 parts, but I'm not going to kick out the 48 yet. What do I need to do first? GCF. I always want you to try this number. Everybody look up here. Everybody look up here. I want you to try this number as the GCF. Will 16 go into 16? Yes. Will 16 go into 32? Okay, let's make us a little chart over here of 16s. 6 plus 6 is 12, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 32. So 16 goes into 32 twice. Let's add another 16. 2 plus 6 is, 3 plus 1 is, does 16 go into 48? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, am I going to divide by positive 16 or negative 16? Negative. All right, when I divide by negative 16, this gives me, those just cancel, so I'm left with t squared. What is positive 32 divided by negative 16? Negative 2t. And positive 48 divided by negative 16? Negative 3. All right, how many parts does it have? 3. It's got 3 parts. So now I kick out the negative 3. All right, what multiplies to give me negative 3? And that adds to give me negative 2, which is what I want. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put it in parentheses. T minus 3, t plus 1. Am I done? No, why not? I have to set it equal to 0 because it's hitting the ground. I have to equal it to 0. Stephen A., what do you get for your 2 answers? Very good. LeVar, which one of those do I want? The 3. My final answer to this problem is 3. Trace. Okay, just 3. Do not, if you circle both of these on the quiz tomorrow, if you circle both of these, what am I going to do? Count it wrong. Don't do it. So you can just circle that one if you want, or you could write a 3, however you want to do it. But do not circle both of those in this word problem. It doesn't hit the ground at negative 1 second. So that doesn't make sense. Okay. Number 3, a punter can kick a football from the ground with an initial velocity of 48 feet per second. How many seconds will it take for the ball to return to the ground? Did they give us the function on this one? No, we have to write our own y equals. So I'm going to write y equals. Chase, what has to go first? Good. What is negative 16x squared? Gravity. Madison, what else has to go in this one? which is what? What other number has to go in there? What other number's in the word problem? And this one's feet per second. So what do I have to do with that, Madison? What do you have to do for per second? Put a x. All right, so that's my velocity. I also need to put where it starts from. Where does this one start from? Starts from 0. Why? What tells you that? They're kicking the football off the ground. So there's not another number I need to put there. Okay? All right, how many seconds will it take for the football to return to the ground? So again, my height is 0. Faith, what do you think I'm going to do first? Good. Riley M., what should we divide by? Very good. All right, be careful on this. When we divide by -16, what else? X. Don't forget about that. They both have an X. They both have an X. Zach, what do you get when you divide by -16x? Because those cancel. All right, everybody look up here real quick. Look. This goes in parentheses. Technically speaking, what goes out front? -16x. We're going to set both of these equal to 0 just so I can show you something. We're going to set that one equal to 0, and we're going to set x minus 3 equal to 0. We're going to set both of them equal to 0. The reason we didn't do it on this one is because was there an x with the -16? So there's no way to set it equal to 0 if there's no x. But this one has an x, okay? I just want y'all to start becoming familiar with this because next year your teacher will make you do this. So I just want to make sure you understand it. What would I do here to get x by itself? Divide. Because the opposite of multiply is to... What is 0 divided by -16? 0. Okay, I just want to show you that in preparation for next year. You don't really need to know it right now, but I want to kind of show you that. What else would you do right here? You would plus 3, and so x equals 3. Okay? Which one should I circle as my answer? The 3. 0 is probably when it started, right when he kicked it. And then it took 3 seconds to fall back down. Okay? All right. Number 4. The function h of t equals -16t squared plus 16t plus 96 represents the height of a rock t seconds after it's thrown from the riverbank into the Dayan River. After how many seconds will it take for the rock to hit the water? LeVar, what should I circle? And what else? Is hit the water the same thing as hit the ground? Yes. Either one, the height is 0. The height is 0. So we got -16t squared plus 16t plus 96. All right, Shakira, what are we going to do next? Good. What do you think might go into all of them? So we're going to check this. So always check your front number. So let's check that. So 16 and 16. What do you get when you add those? 32. What do you get when you add another 16? 4, 1, 64. And then 4 plus 6, 0, 1. 80, 96. Okay, so we count the 16s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Do we divide by positive or -16? Negative. If it's negative in the front, you divide by negative. Okay. All right, so that gives me t squared minus 1t minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is what we said. Okay. All right, how many parts does that have? So I kick out the negative 6. What multiplies to give me negative 6? Very good. Samaria, what do I do next? Why am I doing that? Good. So t equals positive 3, t equals negative 2. Stephen R., which one do I want? T equals 3 or t equals negative 2? Positive one. You want the one that's positive. T equals 3. All right, number 5, the function f of x equals negative 6x squared plus 12x represents the height of a pumpkin launched from a catapult x seconds after it's launched. After how many seconds will the pumpkin hit the ground? Jeremy, what should I circle? What else? Good. Stephen A., what does hit the ground mean? Good. The height is 0. So I got negative 6x squared plus 12x. Negative 6x squared plus 12x. Riley M., what are we doing first on this one? Which is what? Very good. Negative 6x. Good job. Why are we putting an x with this one? They both have it. So those cancel. Remember, I subtract my little number. So 2 minus 1 is x to the first. 12 divided by negative 6, negative 2. All right, Madison, what are we going to do last? So tell me what to write. Zach, what happens here? What do you get x to be? What about over here? Which one do you want? Two more. The function f of x equals negative 10x cubed plus 40x represents the average motion of a kangaroo in seconds as it is jumping across the Australian desert. On average, how long is the kangaroo airborne on each jump? Okay, everybody put your pencils down for a minute. Put your pencils down. What is it asking on this one? What does the question part say?
How long is the kangaroo airborne on each jump?
Thank you. Is that the same thing as how long it would take the kangaroo to hit the ground?
Yeah.
It is. So how long it's airborne is the same amount of time that it would take to hit the ground. They're the same thing. So you just got to think about what's happening, okay? So when the kangaroo stops being airborne, what happens when the kangaroo stops being airborne? What has it done? It's hit the ground. So it's the same thing, okay? All right, you can pick your pencils up. All right, we got negative 10x cubed plus 40x. All right, Stephen A., what are we going to do first on this one? Good, which is what? There you go. Negative 10x. LeVar, what do you get when you divide by negative 10x? Positive divided by negative? Negative 4. Ooh la la! What do we have here? Yes, very good. Difference of squares. I've got an x squared and I've got a 4. Is 4 a perfect square? What happens? LeVar's on today. You can split this one. This one is a splitter. That one's a splitter. How does it split? All right, what goes in front? X and X. And 4 splits into? And different signs. Okay. All right, you can put the negative 10x out front. It's really not going to matter. I mean, it is important to kind of know that it's there, but it's not going to affect your final answer. If you set this one equal to 0, again, just getting you ready for next year, what would happen if you set that one equal to 0? You would get 0. What about this one? What about this one? Uh-huh. Which one do I want? Good. Last one. The function f of x equals negative 3x cubed plus 27x represents the height of a golf ball, x seconds after it's hit. How many seconds will the golf ball hit the ground? Shakira, what should I circle? And what else? Good. All right, so we got negative 3x cubed plus 27x. Madison, what are we doing first? Which is what? Good, negative 3x. All right, I'm going to let you finish this one on your own, and then you'll have an OYO 2